was kind of nutty. It was kind of, in 2006 when the book came out, the comic book industry and the book industry were just not very well integrated. There are two different distribution systems, two different sets of stores. So as a cartoonist, as somebody who came up in comics, I didn't think about the Printz. As a comic book artist, you think about the Eisner or you think about the Harveys, right? You don't think about the ALA awards at all. So I actually got a call from my editor on a Sunday. It was a Sunday afternoon, and he told me that I was going to get a call from the ALA folks, and I had won this Printz award, and I was like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. And then he explained it to me, and then about like 30 minutes or an hour later, the committee called, right? At that point, I was actually about to walk into church. I had my 3-year-old son here. He really liked going to church back then because we would let him eat snacks, right? So he wanted the snacks. And he was just screaming in my ear, let's go, let's go, let's go. And the committee was telling me that I won this award. The impact of it did not hit until I saw the online announcement. I think it was the next day. And that was just, it was stunning. It was stunning. And then to actually go to the awards ceremony where I was given the privilege of talking to hundreds of librarians about my book it was literally life-changing in more ways than one. I went part-time on my job, so I was a full-time high school teacher. After American-born Chinese won the Printz, it allowed me to go part-time, and that has had a tremendous impact on the number of books that I've been able to do since then. And then also, American-born Chinese, when I first did it, I did it as mini comics, which meant I would draw a chapter, I'd go to my local Kinko's, I'd Xerox them, and then I'd staple them by hand, and I'd try to sell them by hand to local stores, to at local conventions. So to go from there to an arena where librarians were actually supporting the book, librarians were actually asking their patrons to read it, was just, it was astounding. It was absolutely astounding. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the one to answer that question, right? I feel like that's more for readers to answer, and that's more for librarians to answer. As a reader, I guess what I would say is I think our body of literature, our collective body of stories, is really a long conversation about what it means to be human. And I would say that a work of literature is something that moves that conversation forward in new and unexpected places. I didn't set out to write for young people. When you're working in mini comics, the size of your audience is so small and so intimate that you don't really think about demographics, because usually most of the people who are reading your books. So I was really, when I was working on American-born Chinese, I was writing it kind of for my friends, kind of for my family. At that level, I wasn't thinking I was a YA author. I don't even know if I had that concept in my head. I didn't get assigned to the YA category until after I signed with First Second Books, my publisher. And now that I'm in it, I feel like it's a really good fit. I think that the concerns of this age demographic are the concerns that interest me and that fascinate me. I also think my writing voice fits well in this, mostly because I'm like naturally a prude. So I think that keeps me from doing more adult things. I feel like it would just go back into YA. It'd be all about like self-discovery and I don't know. Like I ended up having my adult character go back to high school. I don't know. It absolutely did. I think I feel really lucky. I feel incredibly lucky to that all of this happened. I kind of feel like I was, up until that point, graphic novels were coming out that were telling people there was this category of graphic novel literature. There was Mouse came out, Persepolis had come out, Craig Thompson's Blankets had come out. I think just a few months before my book Fun Home had come out. So there was this category in people's minds that all of these amazing creators with their amazing books created, and I kind of feel like American Born Chinese was a beneficiary of that. Like if that category hadn't been created by those amazing books, I don't even know if people would have, considered it, considered American Born Chinese the way they did. Yeah, absolutely, and librarians as well. Like in the 40s and 50s, I think librarians were largely seen as the enemy of comics, and it's kind of the exact opposite now, right? Even before 2007, I think a lot of librarians were championing comics, not just in reluctant reader settings, but also as a medium and a format worthy of study in and of itself. I grew up reading superhero comics, so I still love superhero comics, and I feel like it's a privilege that I actually get to write superhero comics.
You get to write Superman then.
Yeah, which is crazy. I get to write the first superhero. And I was also a huge Avatar fan before I even was connected with the property at all.
Yeah.
So those are definitely two fandoms. We just started watching the Flash TV show as a family, and this is really the first live action show that I've been able to follow with my wife and my kids, and that's been a lot of fun. One of the things that I really love about the Flash is that it embraces the goofiness of the genre. I think there's some superhero stories that are much more dark and much more serious, and there's a place for that. But me personally, I'm more drawn to the goofy side of that genre.
Yeah.
My favorite conference really is ALA. The summer conference, where they have the artist table. Yeah. And this is something I've talked with some of my cartoonist friends about, with Raina and with Ted Pham. And I think, I love Comic-Con, but not everybody at Comic-Con is there for books. Everybody at ALA is there for books. Everybody is part of the conversation, is an active participation, and is an active participant in the conversation that literature provides. Yeah. I don't think I've been in another context that's been like that.